Tanya. Billy Donovan stepped down as the head coach of the Chicago Bulls after 6 seasons. The Bulls made clear that the organization wanted making sweeping changes to their front office, but Donovan held an option in his contract for next season and elected to step down after extensive meetings with team ownership in the last week, sources said. Donovan determined he wanted to give the team a clean break. Gotta be honest, Wilbon, and Perk is back here with us. I don't know that I am shocked by this news. What's your reaction?
Not shocked. I didn't understand why the Bulls, first of all, I don't understand why the Bulls have made any of the decisions they've made in the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, you look at the playoffs right now, and you see Ayo Dosunmu in this starring support role for Minnesota, and you gave him away for a ham sandwich. You know, you look at Denny Avdia. You look at him, and the Bulls were prepared to take him. Should have taken him. The scouts said, take him. No, we're going to take Patrick Williams, and we're going to double down on a dumb draft decision by giving him $95 million a few years later. So they've made one stupid decision after another, which had nothing to do really with Billy Donovan. I mean, I think I have liked Billy Donovan as coach, but it seemed, Shay, and we are Chicagoans. We follow this team closely. Time had just come and gone for Billy. I don't know that he was making any difference that was positive. Again, I am not putting the blame on Billy Donovan for that series of personnel decisions and what the Bulls are facing in that. AK made those decisions, Karnisovas, and was fired as a result and should have been. Now we deal with the Billy Donovan of it all, which is sort of separate.
Yeah.
Was Billy going to make a difference? How was he going to make a difference with this next set of players? We don't even know where they're going. We have no idea. What are the Bulls on, a 5-year plan? So Billy Donovan's been there 6 years. He's going to have 5 more before they're competitive. 11-year plan for Billy Donovan? No, I didn't understand why he was staying, why the Bulls didn't make a clean break from all of this a few weeks ago when Karnisovas was fired.
By the way, Billy Donovan and the Bulls finished above 500 one time. It was the 2021-2022 season, the only time they went to the playoffs in his 6-year tenure. Your thoughts?
He should have been sprinting from that organization. Real talk. Let's keep it real. The Chicago Bulls have been one of the biggest disappointments in the NBA. When you talk about when we talk about history, when we talk about big markets, when we talk about historic franchises, this is a team that has been dysfunctional all across the board. Like, they don't know if they're going or coming. They don't know who their leader are. They don't know who their franchise guy are. They gave up on Kobe White. They gave up on Ayo. He's balling, like you said, for Minnesota. What are y'all doing? Every single season is no in between. You're trying to rebuild or you trying to go for it all. But it seemed like with the Bulls, every single year, they're in the middle. And we got to start holding them to the same level that we hold the Boston Celtics to, the Los Angeles Lakers to. It's about championships. And I believe that the fan base, and y'all can tell me, y'all frustrated at this point.
Like, why, Perk, it's the first sustained period of irrelevance.
Yes.
When I was a kid and played this card, the Bulls were relevant. They didn't win, but they were 50-win-plus teams. They would lose. They couldn't beat Kareem and the Bucks. They couldn't beat the Lakers when the Bulls were in the Western Conference. Yes, boys and girls, the Bulls were in the Western Conference. And they couldn't bump through that ceiling. But they were never irrelevant. Then you had, of course, the Jordan years, where they're the opposite of that. They are the most relevant franchise maybe in any sport in the world. Then even you go through a few lean years, but you get Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, yeah.
And it looks like, oh my God, this again, you've got relevance. You've got a young star who's an MVP at 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick, of course, gets hurt. And since then, it's just been
we were in
the wilderness.
LeBron sweepstakes.
It was, but they were in there against LeBron. There was a series in the conference finals against the Miami Heat and LeBron James, and if Derrick Rose is healthy, we play that game all the time. But now, the last 5 years, as you've mentioned, there was that moment with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and
Larry Market
and Ball and where it looked like, whoa, wait a minute, they were the 1 seed before Ball got hurt, which was amazing. And so we've come out of that, and now they have just been irrelevant, turning down draft picks at a time where they should have been looking at this rebuild 3, 4, 5 years earlier. How about Caruso could have gone to Oklahoma City for 2 first-round picks.
Right.
They said, no, again, that's not on Billy Donovan, but it seems like there were places where guys were developing Kobe White. And there were players you looked at, you said, okay, that's the mark of Billy Donovan. His time in college, understanding how to bring young players along, meaning, 2 national championships in Florida. And he had that. But lately, it has just been despair, and they are as irrelevant as any big market team in sports.
Like, trade deadlines have come and gone, drafts have come and gone, and I don't know how you feel. I just sit there like, the Bulls aren't going to do anything. Like, this whole Giannis discussion, like, they're now, albeit I know he has kind of pinpointed some cities, but Giannis supposedly had been walking around Chicago. You think anyone thought Giannis was going to Chicago?
No,
like, there's never been a free agent, a big fish that we feel like, we, meaning Chicagoans, feel like, they might want. Never. We've completely fallen off the boat in terms of that. Who's recruiting them? Who's wanting them to go? There's no positive because it's just been in this no man's land.
So the next hire, Shay, is not the most important hire, isn't the coach. And that will be important. The hire is who's going to run this thing.
100%.
Right.
Well, and so that's another place where, the Bulls have not had a big swing.
Yeah.
It's time to have one.
Wait a minute. The Bulls have not won a playoff series, by the way, since 2014 when...
I watched Eddie House in crucial moments that we needed him to slide his feet, get up over pick and rolls, take some self-pride and slide his feet. I'm not asking Jalen Brunson to go be Luke Dort or Stephon Castle. I'm asking Jalen Brunson to have some type of pride. But I'm going to go back to what you said, Wilborn. You said that double big lineup. That double big lineup helps their defense. Mitchell Robinson erases problems. When you have a guy that's a rim protector like Mitchell Robinson is, it helps you so much to be able to press up on the perimeter. So if you're lacking, and especially in your superstar in Jalen Brunson, then you put a shot block in the back to be able to cover
Especially
up his
to cover
mistakes.
CJ got into the lane far too many times late in that game. You've mentioned the floaters we just saw again. So they got Mike Brown. Mike Brown has some decisions to make. He's got 2 off days to do it.
Well, he better go in there and hold him accountable. And if I'm Mike Brown, I'm going and I'm showing him film of the Boston Celtics and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because to be honest with you, the playoffs didn't really start for me until Sunday. Because that's when I saw a championship defense from both of those squads. To be honest, they set the tone. And if you're the Knicks and you call yourself legit title contenders, you can't be giving up transition baskets. You can't have poor floor balance defensively when somebody taking a shot and you don't have your wings getting back to have the balance in transition, knowing that the Hawks want to push the pace. You can't be giving up 50-50 balls. And how many layups and dunks are you going to give up in the postseason when it's supposed to be a no layup rule? I'm just asking. So the Knicks fans, game 1, celebrating, Karl Anthony Towns dabbing up every celebrity in the arena. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this not giving me championship vibes. You don't overreact to a game 1. Not game 2, everybody in New York act like they're in the funeral. I walk outside, the Lyft driver got an attitude. I don't know what you got an attitude with me for. I wasn't on the floor.
What do you think? Where's the momentum here as we head to Game 3 now in Atlanta? They get 2 days off. Obviously, I think we can all agree. You think that the Hawks, who said that the Hawks stole one?
No, we both
agree. You both think the Hawks stole one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Hawks stole one, so you would assume that the Knicks had, I think they had like a 90% probability to win that game going into the 4th quarter. Where's the momentum as the series shifts to Atlanta?
I think Game 3 will establish that, Shay. I mean, look, now, so the pressure shifts to the Hawks. It's not about stealing one. It's about defending something that they don't really know how to defend.
Right.
Again, CJ, I'm sure, is more than willing and able to attempt to lead them. But it's up to the Knicks to make these adjustments, and then we'll see if Atlanta can counter. You mentioned Jalen hadn't had a breakout game yet. I mean, there's some room for Atlanta to grow, but there's pressure at home. There's pressure at home for a young Hawks team, which hasn't been through this. And if, Perk, I'm going to piggyback off what you just said. If you're the Knicks and you got championship aspirations, you need to go and take Game 3 and reestablish yourself with your multiple stars. Don't just leave this up to Jalen Brunson. But yeah, Mike Brown's going to make an adjustment. But this is, to me, this is on the Knicks players. Those guys are experienced enough. They've been through this. They beat the Celtics last year, even before Jason Tatum got hurt. It's on them to go back and establish, Chase, some momentum in Game 3.
And you're right. You gotta go in Game 3 and snatch their souls. And look, I'm telling y'all, I went through a 7-game series, a battle with the Atlanta Hawks. And people can underestimate that fan base in the postseason, but it feel like the club in there. I'm telling you, you can't lock in, you can't focus, and when that fan base get involved, it's a dangerous place to play in. I'm telling y'all right now. So if you're the Knicks, again, you got to have the mindset. You should be pissed off. You should be pissed off, but it got to be accountability from top to bottom. Get your defense on point. Ask Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby, which one of y'all go take the assignment and say, you know what, I got C.J. McCollum. Because that's why y'all getting paid the big bucks. They brought both of y'all in here to be elite wing defenders, something that you need to win the championship. And then you got to ask yourself, if you Mike Brown and Jalen Brunson, hey, man, how can we feature Karl Anthony Towns? Remember in 2009, 2010, we played, when I was with the Celtics, we played the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they had Antoine Jamison at the time. And KG always wanted to be the third option. That's what he said. I'm the third option behind Paul and Ray. Before that series started, Doc said, in order for us to win this series, KG, you're going to be the first option, and I need you to shoot the ball 20 to 25